Perry Stone's comments could spell the end for Joni Lamb's career, which is a shocking turn of events. After years of speculation and secrecy, Stone has finally come clean with some disturbing facts, leaving us to question Lamb's involvement. Lamb had a prominent place in the realm of Christian ministry at one point. Everything she has worked for could be ruined by the scandal she is now embroiled in. Listen in as we discuss the implications of the shocking news for her future and dissect it. The Christian preaching community was thrown for a loop when news of Perry Stone's story involving Joni Lamb broke. Nobody had the guts to spill the beans about Lamb's true role at Daystar Television Network, but rumors about it had been circulating for years, at least until Stone's forceful words shattered it. The silence was shattered as they revealed all. Since Lamb was powerful and could supposedly manipulate events to her benefit, everyone in the industry had their own theory about what she might have been planning. There was speculation that Lamb had been underhandedly trying to bribe other ministers into supporting her plan. With so much at stake financially, the idea that a powerful woman could run Christian TV was unsettling to many. Some even went so far as to claim that she had arranged deals to silence potential government whistleblowers who might have spoken out about the hidden dealings in the embassy. More and more information surfaced, and some network insiders claimed that Lamb had abused her position to advance her business interests through programming decisions. Everyone started to wonder if she had struck any deals with other famous pastors to maintain control of Daystar. Some even went so far as to suggest she may have engaged in questionable financial dealings for her own benefit. It was difficult to shake the suspicion that Lamb, as ruler of a faith-based kingdom, might be a puppet master. As more and more accounts surfaced, the extent of her influence became apparent to some. Would other organizations have also been hurt by it, not just Daystar? Lamb had long been portrayed as the reserved and helpful co-founder of Daystar, but following Stone's assertions, many started to question whether there was any additional information to the story. Were these tales merely fictional, or were there elements of truth to them? Many individuals who had previously remained silent began to voice their opinions in response to Perry Stone's news. There were reports of strange occurrences and quick, inexplicable changes in the leadership of the network, from long-term employees in the industry, including some who had worked with Lamb or Daystar for years. Discussing Lamb's meteoric rise to Christian media stardom, these experts pondered how a woman with no background in ministry or television could have achieved such rapid success. The previously unseen potential power of Lamb was brought to light in new ways when Stone came clean, turning the whispers into a full-on discussion. As pieces began to fall into place, the stories began to seem more plausible. Initially, they were merely speculative. Before we get into the year 2025 and the prophecy the Lord gave us, I want you to say something. People occasionally contact us via email or text message because they are aware that I have been able to complete tasks for the past 30 years with the help of the Lord. Once again, Perry Stone will defend Daystar. He is now describing in his writings a lake teeming with fish and souls where the fishers are hindered from carrying out their duties by wicked, slanderous individuals. If you had a dream, Perry, why don't you put it down on paper? According to multiple reliable sources, you did indeed witness the tragic deaths of Joni and Rachel Lamb Brown in a Daystar lake approximately 12 months ago. I didn't know this was going to happen, Joni screamed. Perry vs. Stone, is that true? Were Joni and Rachel to perish in a lake in your dream? The devastating impact on Perry Stone's career of his shocking statement regarding Joni Lamb. Perry Stone's statement about Joni Lamb rocked the Christian television industry. As an influential figure in the Christian community and a prophet who preached powerful lessons, Stone was widely recognized. He had a way with words that had lasting impact. On this occasion, however, there was no appeal to faith or message of optimism. It was a powerful charge, though, and it would ruin all that Lamb had labored over. There was an immediate shift in focus after Stone made his public pronouncement. It was just another religious argument, and it went against everything that Joni Lamb had ever stood for. At Daystar Television Network, Joni Lamb was known as the unassuming powerhouse behind the scenes. She co-founded the station with her husband, Marcus Lamb. Her influence in Christian media was undeniable. Many millions of people all over the globe had heard about Daystar from its broadcasts. Lamb was someone her co-workers could trust because she was courteous and composed. But according to Perry Stone, there was more going on with her than what was initially apparent. According to Stone, Lamb was using her wealth and influence to manipulate influential people in the church world. He said that thanks to Daystar's success, Lamb was able to fund various organizations while simultaneously receiving assistance in creating prophetic messages that aligned with her network plans. Many people who knew Lamb, like Stone, found the accusations extremely personal. He claimed that Lamb used his influence over him and other prominent pastors for both commercial and manipulative purposes. According to Stone, Lamb had a subtle influence on the course of his prophetic ministry by suggesting, through Daystar's fame, that he align his messages with her vision. He went on to say that her wealth had granted her far more than a formal position. It had also bestowed upon her considerable influence over the messages conveyed to individuals on a global scale. According to Stone, power was at stake, not only financial gain. Throughout his ministry, Stone had never been shy about admitting when he was wrong. Now, though, he said he couldn't help but voice his opinion that Lamb dominated the Christian television industry. In the midst of everyone's reaction to Stone's remarks, Joni Lamb was brutally injured. Trust and power were the foundations of her career when she was younger. Its fate was now in the balance. Daystar, the embodiment of her work and a symbol of her achievements, was all of a sudden scrutinized more intently. A once great model of Christian programming was now tarnished by accusations of manipulation and cheating. Concerns about Lamb's motivations for her involvement in Daystar's management and programming led many to question whether she was more concerned with shaping Christian media's narrative than spreading its message. People were shocked, disillusioned, and disappointed by Stone when he made his claims. A powerful and helpful churchwoman, Lamb was always well respected. Daystar would not be where it is today without her tireless efforts as a co-founder alongside her husband. But after hearing Stone's harsh words, many started to question whether she had really been more powerful than anyone had anticipated. A significant and immediate shift occurred in Lamb's position. A few days following Stone's exposure, reports began to surface about fewer people watching Daystar. Many of the network's former backers felt deceived, particularly the many who had watched Daystar for years and identified with the Christian values, optimism, and hope it presented. After hearing that the church could have been used as a front for personal gain, many felt their faith had been betrayed. The accusations leveled against Lamb had a profound impact on the public's and Christians' perception of him. Controversy has tarnished its reputation after it was once held in high esteem as an exemplary Christian television program. Many began to question the authenticity of the messages they had been receiving from Daystar for years, questioning whether they were truly from God or if it was all a media con artist trying to make a buck. Lamb felt increasing pressure to speak out as the investigation into the claims progressed. The media's previously kind treatment of her and her family has turned nasty. Even news articles that once lauded Daystar's influence and reach are now casting doubt on the network's tactics and the true factors contributing to its success. Although Lamb was long considered a co-founder, her influence within the network has been increasingly obscured as new details have emerged. Whether she answered or not, the rumors intensified. Many expected Lamb to publicly address the allegations, but she remained silent. Quietness conveyed a great deal. Her involvement in the scandal and potential accountability for Daystar's management were left to speculation by the public and media. People started to doubt Lamb's genuine motives, which was one of the worst aspects of Stone's comment. Some of Lamb's detractors began to speculate that she may have exploited her position to enrich herself financially at the expense of the very people she claimed to be serving, while simultaneously benefiting Christian media. Rather than seeing Daystar as a mission, some felt she had commercialized spiritual themes for financial gain. The mission of Christian television is twofold: to bring people closer to God and to encourage them in their faith. The show's original intent, however, is now in question. Because an increasing number of his erstwhile admirers distanced themselves from Daystar in the wake of Stone's revelations, the impact on Lamb's career was substantial. Once held in high regard as an indicator of Christian media success, the network is now distrusted. Pastors and celebrities who were close to Lamb had to publicly separate themselves from her. A number of prominent figures in Christian media expressed concern about the direction Daystar had taken under Lamb's leadership, which had far-reaching consequences. After some claimed they were manipulated and had too much power, the Christian media world was rocked. The controversy centered on more than just a single woman's employment at a television network. It also raised questions regarding the ethics of Christian television and whether or not the ministry's financial aims had supplanted its spiritual mission. As the network battled to repair its tarnished image, the future of Daystar remained uncertain. It was a major setback for Lamb's career. She was attempting to hold on to the little respect she had left after being lauded as a leader in Christian television. It was obvious that Stone's remarks hurt his professional and personal life. She had no idea what the future held for Daystar, and the network she and her husband had worked so hard to build was in jeopardy. Christians once put their faith in Lamb, but now they began to question whether she had really followed her mission or was simply seeking to amass her personal kingdom. The new chapter of Lamb's career, marked by scandal and public backlash, began with Stone's shocking comment. Many felt a mix of anger, disappointment, and confusion when Stone revealed his secrets. After years of supporting Lamb, many began to question the veracity of what they were being told. The whole Christian television industry was cast into disrepute as a result of this controversy, which affected more than simply Lamb. The hitherto unexplored realm of televangelism was now under the microscope more than ever before. When Perry Stone made that shocking remark, it would alter Joni Lamb's career trajectory irrevocably. As she dealt with the aftermath of the scandal that permanently altered her reputation, the career she had built upon trust and power collapsed, and she faced the formidable challenge of getting back on track. Your mother requested that we contact you again so that you may speak with us, so we did just that. You will have one full day from tomorrow between 2:30 and 3 o'clock when we will sign this to complete it. After you sign it, please return to Arnold's office, all right? Make sure you're satisfied with it by reading it multiple times and then sign it tomorrow. One day from now, at 3 o'clock, you will have it all. If you keep from doing that, you'll end up working for someone. Your position as vice president and your membership on the board will be terminated unless you fulfill that obligation. Your job is still secure. We are currently at that point. Specifically, without you there, we couldn't have done that without making a move. You let it go already? Fired me? So that's the reason you backed out. Technically speaking, you removed yourself from the competition. You succeeded in removing the vice president from office. In response to her request, we have agreed to give you 1 day to consider the matter before Daystar sends you her letter. Since Perry Stone's shocking claims rocked the Christian media world, rumors and talk about Joni Lamb have reached new heights. Throughout the Christian broadcasting community, Lamb was a beloved figure for a long time. She co-founded Daystar Television Network with her husband, Marcus Lamb. With an audience of millions, Daystar became a household name in the realm of Christian television programs very fast. Because she co-founded and co-led the network, Lamb was widely believed to be a devout religious woman. Her public appearances, religious teachings, and years of service all contributed to this. However, Things began to go downhill for her professionally when the renowned preacher Perry Stone made a shocking comment about her. According to him, she manipulated prophetic messages, mismanaged funds, and was dishonest when she created Daystar shows. There were whispers that Lamb held significant influence at Daystar prior to Stone's revelation. Some wondered how someone without a degree in media or broadcasting could have risen to such a position of authority at a major television network. Speculation mounted as to whether Lamb was more than a bystander. Some claimed she actively worked to guide the network in the correct direction, even going so far as to alter its messages to accommodate her personal agenda. For quite some time, there has been speculation that she may have used her wealth to influence Daystar's management. Her influence over Daystar's business dealings and her own ambitions were alleged to have undermined the network's primary objective, leading many to question the network's true motivations. Once Stone's claims were made public, these types of conversations swiftly escalated into full-on gossip. Even those who had previously lauded Lamb for her work in Christian television started to view it more critically. Word about her spread like wildfire. Some in the church community suspected that she was trying to influence other ministries. After a while, people began to question whether Lamb was abusing her position of authority by pressuring influential people into doing business with her and spreading messages that prioritized her financial and personal ambitions over the audience's spiritual needs. Whether she had been abusing Daystar for personal gain rather than as a means to spread the gospel was the simple but crucial question that persisted. One of the more concerning rumors that began to circulate was the notion that Lamb had been manipulating pastors such as Perry Stone to promote specific agenda items that would benefit Daystar's financial line. Speculation circulated that Stone, who gained a large following for his clairvoyant teachings, might have been compensated by Lamb to align his prophecies with Daystar's programming requirements. Rumor had it that Lamb was subtly manipulating Daystar's resources to change the way organizations and their messages were shown. Not only was she to be given financial support, but her influence was also to be used to craft a narrative that would work to her advantage. Rumors about Lamb's private life and the media industry circulated, according to some detractors. For some, Lamb's once personal relationships with influential churchgoers had taken on a more business-like tone as she became more entangled with Daystar's commercial operations. Because of this, many began to question her motivations. Was her true motivation to promote faith and support her husband's plans for the network to gain more power and influence through her position at the church, or was it something else entirely? According to those in the know, Lamb had lied and even compared her behavior to that of the biblical Jezebel. This further fueled the rumors. A powerful woman in this story maintains order by exerting her dominance over men, frequently at the cost of those around her. Even though there was no concrete evidence linking the two cases, the similarities did lend credence to the idea that Lamb had manipulated the ministry and the media to achieve her personal agenda. The possibilities for altering predictive words weren't the only thing people were speculating about. Additionally, there were rumors that Lamb was straying further from Daystar's intended spiritual path. Those who disliked her believed that she had diverted the ministry's focus from serving God and spreading the gospel to pursuing financial success. Faith was once at the heart of Daystar's mission, but now some feel it's more about power and obtaining what you want. More people started talking because of this. It was beginning to look like Daystar wasn't a church after all, but rather a for-profit enterprise masquerading as a religious network. Within Daystar, rumors began to circulate that Lamb's influence had played a significant role in transforming the network from a spiritual haven into a commercial empire. As a matter of fact, some have questioned whether Lamb had ever given a hoot about Daystar's mission, or whether her primary focus had always been on building a strong kingdom of her own. The rumors intensified as more and more individuals discussed her role at Daystar. It appeared that Lamb was also growing increasingly enigmatic. She gave the impression of being a humble and caring leader who collaborated with her husband on a significant project behind closed doors. However, According to the reports, the woman had manipulated events and people to achieve her goals. The disparity between her public persona and the whispers whispered about her behind closed doors caused her followers to lose faith in her. Lamb has gone from being a rock in the Christian media industry to having her integrity and honesty called into question. Word about Perry Stone's comments quickly spread, and rumors about Lamb quickly followed. Not only did reviewers and cast members join the chat, but longtime Daystar fans also did. News organizations covered the story, which allowed supporters and detractors alike to voice their opinions, and it quickly went viral on social media, with everyone watching her every move. Joni Lamb's once great reputation appeared to be in jeopardy. She was embroiled in a scandal that would alter the public's perception of her. Her role at Daystar had expanded beyond that of co-founder. Concerning Daystar, the rumors also circulated. After Lamb's performance came under scrutiny, many started to question whether Daystar could continue without her. With new leadership in place, would the network continue airing its programs, or would the allegations lead to its demise? More and more people started talking about Daystar's future. Some felt it was time for a shakeup in the network's management and leadership. Whether Lamb would attempt to defend herself or step down was the subject of numerous rumors. Even though Joni Lamb's career appeared stable at first, it was soon apparent that it was at a crossroads due to the persistent rumors surrounding her role in Daystar. A cloud loomed over her future as accusations and rumors swirled around her actions, both at work and in her personal life. Whether or not these rumors were accurate, they damaged her reputation anyhow. After all the drama, people were wondering if the once admired woman could get back on track. If this was the beginning of her downfall, or if it had any bearing on her career,